Hey guys, my name is Paul Procise. Hey, I just got done watching Psaki's press conference. In fact, it was just literally, and this is the 8th of August. No, September. Jeez. I mean, it's all running together. And I was just going to post her thing and just put a snarky little thing on Facebook and YouTube and stuff, and I was just going to post it. But I can't do it without rebutting this lie that she continues, the White House continues to post. And I have to show you the evidence. And I kind of wish I didn't have to put other people's content on there because I just don't want to have to do it. Let me just play what she said. Now, it's just frustrating that I have to do it this way, but let me just play her stuff. And I was in the middle of editing it. So anyways, let me just
handful of
play
Americans, and I'm sure you're not suggesting we should have flights with hundreds of people we don't know who they are, where there's no security protocols.
She's actually, so she just said there's all these flights with no security protocols. They don't know who they are. They don't know who these people are on these flights. Okay. Now, I don't know any of these people. I don't know all the security protocols, but I do know that there are agencies out there that do have the security protocols. Now, I'm taking them at their word, and we're all taking them at their word, right? All these NGOs. Now, the biggest person with the biggest voice out there is, of course, Glenn Beck. And I know there's people out there in my audience who are saying, oh my gosh, you're just pushing Glenn Beck. I get it. And if I just turned you off because I'm talking about Glenn Beck, I get it. Okay. But let me just show you what he posted on Twitter today. And I think because it is incredibly relevant, it just is relevant. Let me show you what he posted today. And it is relevant to what she just said. And I'm going to play the video. I don't normally play other people's content, but I believe it's needed in this context.
I know there's a lot of senators, some on both sides of the aisle, that are just as dedicated as you or I on trying to get these people out. But we all know the State Department is the biggest problem. We all know that. They are intentionally blocking, and it's not just the State Department, it is in collusion with the White House. And they're playing games like, they don't have the right paperwork. What do you mean they don't have the right paperwork?
Exactly
what paperwork do they need now? Well, they need to get a release from the embassy. There is no embassy. Quote, well, you're just going to have to figure that out. End quote. We're just going to have to figure that out? Laughing, mocking. Well, you're just going to have to figure that out. There is no embassy. What the hell game are you people playing?
So, and that goes on, and I would encourage you to find that tweet and find his show, and it goes on. There's other people, not him, other reporters, Laura Logan, other people, reputable journalists that are talking about this. There are other people that you can find that are talking about this, that are saying, no, there's journalistic report. There's people from the New York Post are actually talking about how they can't get their reporters out. There's a plane with New York Times, reporters that can't get their reporters out because this administration is holding things up. What are we doing? And then Psaki wants to talk about how, what do we want to do? What do we want to do? What do you want me to do? Would you want me to pass it? Just listen to how her snark is. She's so snarky and cynical and nasty in this interview because, she has to deal with Steve Doocy. She has a room full of lackeys here that just give her softballs, and then one kind of iffy Doocy reporter journalist that's going to ask her kind of tough questions, and frankly they're not even all that tough generally, and she has to be super snotty nasty to him. Ooh, sorry to burst your little bubble there, Psaki, with the one tough question, maybe 3 minutes, 2 minutes of kind of tough questions. Wow, it must be really rough life.
Here, I'm convinced. I think what people want to understand is what we're doing to help address it. There's a handful of Americans, and I'm sure you're not suggesting we should have flights with hundreds of people we don't know who they are, where there's no security protocols.
Stop.
Too few. I just am conveying to you there's a hand.
I'm sure you're not suggesting. I'm sure it's not. I'm sure you're not. And isn't that a great way to stop debate? Oh, I'm sure you're not suggesting. No, you're the one that's suggesting this, Psaki. You and the White House are doing this. You and the State Department are doing this. You are doing this. You are holding up people. You are holding up the Christians. You are holding up the SIVs. They have been vetted. They have had the process done, and then you have turned around and given the Taliban this. And then let's go ahead and listen to the rest of this interview. It's crazy.
Handful of Americans who we are also in touch with, and we are working to help get evacuated from Afghanistan. But decisions you have to make in the federal government are not yes and no decisions, or as simple as what you're laying out here. What we're evaluating and looking at is how to keep people on our military bases safe, while also getting these U.S. citizens, dual citizens, people who are prepared to leave Afghanistan, able to leave. At the same time, we don't think we're not going to allow flights that have hundreds of people who we don't know who they are, who haven't been security protocols, where we haven't seen the manifests, to land on U.S. military bases.
Okay, there are now more terrorists wanted by the FBI and the new Afghan government than there are women. Does the president think that is a foreign policy success?
Well, first of all, no one in this administration, not the president, nor anyone on the national security team, would suggest that the Taliban are respected and valued members of the global community. They have not earned that in any way, and we have never assessed that. This is a caretaker cabinet that does include 4 former imprisoned.
Hold on. A caretaker cabinet? Are you kidding me? They're just playing semantics here. It's a caretaker cabinet? No. It's a bunch of terrorists that have taken over the country because Joe couldn't be bothered to get out of Jam land because he was couldn't be bothered to stop eating his Monday morning pudding. Remember the leaked phone call between him and the president of Afghanistan? That he was looking for cover. They needed to control the narrative. No, this is a bunch of bullcrap. This is ridiculous. Can't believe I'm actually reviewing this video. Gosh.
Taliban fighters. We have not validated that. We have not conveyed we're going to recognize it. What
yes,
we're looking to do.
That's another thing. They have said that they would recognize this government. They have said that they would recognize the Afghan government. They have said that they would negotiate with them. They have sent over aid. They're continually giving them billions of dollars. They are negotiating with them. So for her to say we're not negotiating with them, they are. They're actively negotiating with them. They're actively giving over the manifests for the airplanes. They're actively negotiating with them and taking credit, by the way, for land bridge rescues that they weren't even a part of, but until the 11th and a half hour, they weren't even a part of. They're taking credit for that, by the way. These people are a joke. They're not serious people. But they want all the credit when good things happen, when the NGOs are doing good things. It's amazing how that works out.
Rushing to recognition. There's a lot they have to do before that. What we're working to do is to engage with them because they oversee and control Afghanistan right now to get American citizens, legal permanent residents, as SIV applicants out of Afghanistan. We have to engage with them.
To engage with them, their new acting interior minister is a Haqqani network terrorist. He's wanted for a bombing that killed 6 people, including an American. He's believed to have participated in cross-border attacks against U.S. troops. There's a $10 million bounty on his head. Why
Isn't
are we
that crazy?
engaging?
I mean, seriously. They are the government has active people that was let out by the Obama administration and recently by the Biden administration. And I don't know, if we look far enough into it, we might find some guys that were let out by the Trump administration. Who knows? I'll give you guys that. Who knows? I'm not saying any of this is good on any level. It's bad. And frankly, the Taliban has been funded since the 70s by Republicans and Democrats alike. If we're going to be honest here, it's bad. This is a fiasco for the ages because we wanted to defeat the communists. We started funding these guys. So it's not like this is like some kind of innocent project that we've been a part of. This is bad. But for this administration right now to say, oh, there's nothing there. And by the way, I'm going to be snotty about my answers. I'm getting sick of this. And the way that they're going about this withdrawal, and that they've planned since April, probably before that, actually. We just happen to know about it because of leaked phone calls. This is beyond disgusting. It's evil what they're doing because they're trying to blame everybody else. Oh, it's Trump's fault. Oh, it's their fault because they couldn't be bothered to. It's the Christians' fault. It's the SIV's fault because they didn't want to get there in time. No, but we hear from the people on the ground saying we didn't know when they were leaving. We were told to leave. We were told to not be there at the gates. So when the truth actually comes out, this is going to be one of the greatest humanitarian disasters and one of the biggest embarrassments and one of the biggest blunders in American history. Yep. I think it's going to be terrible. In 20, 30 years, when the stories finally come out, when we have all the documentaries like we have come and rolling in 20 years after 9/11, I think this is going to be terrible when we have all the stories and documentaries coming out of what's really happened. We're already hearing terrible, tragic stories of sacrifices and Christians being murdered and being hunted in the streets. This is bad. I wish I had better news. So anyways, if you guys would like to support these things and the videos that I'm doing and putting out, I would really greatly appreciate it. And just like everything in life and any of these content things, I could use your support. Go ahead and check the LinkedIn thing. There's ways to support me, whether it's direct payments through PayPal or whatever it is, or it's through builtbar.com, built.com, promo code Paul, or it's the any of the other great sponsors that I have. Check them out. paulprocess.com, and we'll see you soon. Bye.